So, hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the SBL September 2022 live orientation session. This is Zishan Hassan, your tutor for the Strategic Business Leader SBL. Right. So, first, let me explain about myself. My name is Zishan Hassan. I have more than 13 years of teaching experience, and I've been teaching Strategic Business Leader SBL since the inception of this exam, right? Besides teaching, I also had a working experience as follows. I'm the founder and trainer at AccountanSea, accountancy.com, right? I also have a working experience as an finance associate at Sbl Inc. Pakistan, which is Swiss-based multinational company which makes banknotes of banknote inks, by the way. Okay, I also was the blog writer at acccareers.com earlier in my career. I also worked as an external auditor at Deloitte. I was also had a working experience at Shirazi Trading Company, who made the various types of photocopying machines and all, who did the trading of these products. Here in Pakistan, which papers I do teach? I do teach FA1, FA2, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F7, F8, F9, SBL, SBI, APM, and triple. Final. Okay, so that's about. Now, SBL pass rates. I collected the data from the ACCA website, and my students who studied from me to make the comparison that what's the passing rate. So this data you can find on the worldwide passing rates. You can find on the ACCA website as well. In September 2021, worldwide passing ratio was 51%, whereas accountancy students passing rate was 85%. In December 2021, worldwide passing rates of SBL was 51% and accountancy students passing rate were 85%. In March 2022, worldwide passing rate was decreased, unfortunately, and it was 50%. And for accountancy students, it was 83%. As far as the 85 and 83%, I do think that it's not bad at all. So overall, you can see that half of the students who fail in this exam. What are the reasons that students who make students are failing in this exam? We'll discuss in a while. Let me tell you, those who are watching this live session, this live class right now. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the uh, in the comments. In the comments, if you have any questions, you can ask me anytime, and I will in regular intervals. I will answer you your questions. Right. So the reasons. Before that, we move to the reasons for your motivation. Here are the SBL high core scorers from class 3 to 4 attempts from accountancy, and all of these students were taught by me. As you can see on your screen, that these are the some list of 20 students who studied from accountancy in class 3 to 4 attempts, and these are their scores who studied from us. Right? It's just for your motivation as well. As you know, if they can do it, remember you can do it. Nothing is impossible. You yourself even can score uh, the high marks. Moving ahead, now here it is. Reasons of failure in strategic business report. Why do students fail in this exam? Let us discuss. First point, well, I collected these reasons from the examiner, from examiner reports and various articles where examiners do give their feedback, especially in examiner report. Examiner again and again in every sitting examiner report, they are complaining about the students. And what are the examiner complaints? First of all, a lack of basic technical knowledge. If you don't have any basic technical knowledge regarding the subject, regarding the paper of SBL, I wonder you won't pass the exam. So obviously, it is very, very, very essential that you have all the basic knowledge of the exam, of the concept, of the models, right? Now, number two reason, lots of students do this, and in almost every requirement feedback of past papers, the students are complaining about it. The examiner complaining about it. And what is that? It is copying and pasting statement from the exhibits with no attempt to explain the relevance or to develop this in the case context, right? So only copying and pasting the exhibits from the past paper will not help you to get the marks. If you will only copy and paste the exhibits from the exam question and you will not discuss anything on it, you will not connect it with the scenario, definitely you will get a zero. So what you need to do if you are expecting the information from the exhibit, you need to, after that, you need to explain it. You need to develop your discussion and connect it with scenario. And then you have to conclude. Otherwise, I wonder you won't get a mark, right? So it is very important that if you're extracting your copy and pasting the exhibit, you have to explain their relevance. You have to develop your points to explain it. And that why you are taking that information from there in the context of the case, which is given in the exam question, right? Now, another issue, failing to read the exhibit information correctly. Okay, many candidates misinterpreted some of the key points from the exhibit and made several incorrect points as a result, right? That's a big problem. What you need to do, read exhibit very carefully, right? I know it's a very big scenario, and you have only limited time available for the exam. So you have to read it quick, but you have to be very careful, right? You have to understand what's been discussed in the scenario, what they are asking, what are the main discussion, right? Besides that, make the points, make points in front of the scenario so that you can use those points in your answer discussion, right? Uh, Also, you have to discuss the requirement. You have to read the requirement very carefully as well, because if you misunderstood the requirement, uh, again you will face an issue. Now, failing to apply basic knowledge to the case context, what's that point means? Uh, for example, in the case, we'll discuss more the concept. For example, you the the scenario is giving you the hint for the to apply pastel model. For example, I'm just giving an example, right? Or the uh, Porter diamond, but you misinterpret the information from the scenario, and you discuss about the SAF, suitability, acceptability, and feasibility model, right? So if you misunderstood the scenario and you will apply the wrong model, again, you will struggle to get the marks. Now, next point, not fully justifying recommendations made. When making a recommendation, candidates are reminded that they must always justify it in the context of the issue or the problem the recommendation is trying to solve. What does this mean? For example, you get the issue, and you are the business consultant. That requirement in that scenario, you as a consultant, examiner asks you to give the recommendation. What student, many candidates do, they just give the recommendation and that's it, move to the other requirement. That's not enough. When you are recommending something, you have to justify your recommendation as well, that why you are giving that recommendation, what issue. You have to tell them what issue will be resolved with that recommendation, what problem, or what problem you are trying to solve with that recommendation. You have to tell them, otherwise you barely get half a mark. Remember this. Then, failing to present any impacts at all. This happened when candidates had copied the weaknesses from the exhibit and then neglected to consider the impacts and only presented recommendations. Right. So, for example, you get the internal control weaknesses requirement, right? So as an expert, they are asking for you the recommendations. So firstly, what you have to do, you have to tell them internal control weaknesses. You have to tell them what impact these weaknesses can have. And then you have to give the recommendations. What candidates do, they just apply the first step and they tell the internal control weaknesses, right? And they give the recommendation directly. They don't tell the impact of those weaknesses. And obviously, again, you won't get the full marks. For example, on this you get the 2 marks for relevant point, and you just tell the internal control weaknesses and the recommendations you want. You will get a 1 mark out of 2 again. Because of this, you will struggle to get the passing mark. So now let us discuss. I hope it is clear till here, and I would ask you all, if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment over here. right? And now let's move ahead. Let us discuss about this syllabus. Firstly, we will have first area of SBL, that is concepts of strategy. What does concepts of strategy include? It will explain that what is strategy, what is corporate strategy, what is strategic business unit. Uh, it will discuss also. It will discuss about the, you know, suitability, acceptability, feasibility model. Okay, it will also discuss about the, just a second. I need to get a sip of a water. So coming back to the discussion, we are discussing about the concept of strategy. What I just told, it includes what is strategy. We will tell you about strategic planning, what it includes. Then we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of the strategy. Then we'll move ahead. What are the levels of strategic planning? It includes corporate strategy. It includes operational strategy, their advantage and then disadvantage. Then we'll discuss about the approach of strategic planning. Then we will discuss about the strategic position analysis, which is separately a different chapter as well. Then we will discuss about the strategic choices. Then we will discuss about the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility model, which is one of my favorite model, by the way. Okay. Here, our this area, this chapter will end, and then we will move to the next area, that is strategic analysis. So, what strategic analysis will consist of all of the model? What it will cover? It will cover pastel model. It will cover Porter 5 forces. It will cover Porter diamond. It will cover sort model. It will cover. So these models will cover in it. Then we will discuss the performance analysis. In performance analysis, we will discuss the various you know various performance analysis methods, ratios, quantitative methods, qualitative methods, other financial models. Then we will move to the other area, which is known as strategic choice. Okay. So what strategic choice will include? Now, before that, if you have a question, that we already studied strategic choice in the other area of strategic analysis, was very limited. That was very limited. It was just an introduction. Now, in detail, strategic choices will be discussed, and in strategic choices, we will discuss about the uh, competitive strategy options. What are the various competitive strategy options that are cost leadership, differentiation, focus? These are the options, right? So what are aims of that? How we can do that? what are the benefits and threats related to them. Then we will discuss the another model which is Porter's generic strategies. Then we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of it. Then we will discuss what is differentiation. We have different types of differentiation, that is design differentiation, image differentiation, rewards of a differentiation strategy, risk of such a strategy, what is focus strategy, what is differentiation focus. Then we will discuss about the strategic block, and then what if one strategy fail. Okay, we will discuss about the product market strategies. Then we will move to the advantages and disadvantages of it. Then we will discuss about the international diversification, which is also known as globalization. Remember that. Okay. Then we will discuss about the strategic lenses, in which we will talk about strategic as a design, strategy as experience, and strategy as ideas, right? When strategic lenses will be done, our this area will be over. Then we will discuss about the methods of strategic development, what it includes, acquisition, what are the advantages and disadvantages of acquisition, um, improve financial position, what is improved profitability. Then we will discuss what is the concept corporate parenting, what is organic growth, joint venture, several characteristics of well structure alliance, franchising, portfolio analysis tools, uh, uh, and then our this area will be over. Then we will discuss the corporate governance. What is corporate governance? Who are involved in it? Who? What is audit committee? What is nomination committee? What is remuneration committee? Different structure of corporate governance will be covered in it. Then we will discuss about the stakeholders and corporate social responsibility, right? So, who are the stakeholders? What is meant by the stakeholders in, and then Menlo's framework for the stakeholders importance. Okay, various issues related to the stakeholders, and then corporate social responsibility will be covered in it. Then we will move to the one of another my favorite area, that is effective leadership. So, what is effective leadership? The nature and importance of leadership. First of all, we will discuss. Then we will discuss about the trait theories, various theories related to the leadership. That is trait theories. All right, their advantages, disadvantages. Then we will discuss about the behavioral and style theory. Okay, its advantages and disadvantages. Then we will discuss about the contingency, textual, contextual theories of the leadership. Leadership and management will be covered. The skill which is required for a leader, right? Um, by the way, how many of you want to be a leader? You let me know in the comments, right? Make this session, uh, interactive, more interesting. One side speaking, I don't think so that cool enough. Uh, the board of directors is the next area. Board of directors, their roles and responsibility. Firstly, who are involved in the board of directors, who is executive directors, who is non-executive directors, what are the role of executive directors, what are the roles of non-executive directors. Okay, who is the effective about the effective board members, potential problems for boards, what is diversity, diversity of non-executive directors, board's agenda items, stock exchange, types of board structures, the roles of non-executive directors, how can be an effective non-executive director, cross directorship, what is cross directorship, and it impacts who is chairman, who is CEO, what are their roles, what are their responsibilities, directors induction and CPD, what what is the induction process, the objectives of the induction program, what are the duties of directors, what is company strategies, who is board, about the board operations, what is the objectives of you know of legal and responsibilities, what is judiciary duties of the directors, what penalties can be imposed on them, and in what situation, what to do in the conflict and disclosure of interest, what is insider trading and trading, what is the performance evaluation of board will be covered over here. We will discuss about the board committees, about the CEO and chairman succession, the remuneration committee, the objectives of the committee, the responsibilities of the committee, and remuneration policies and strategies of board of directors. That all will be covered in this chapter, in this area, right? So far so good. If you guys have any question, do let me know. I'm giving a few minutes to you. Okay, you can ask your question in there in the comments, and then I will proceed further.